Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman, and I want to welcome you back to some more Spooktober here at the Seaman's Cinema Sitdown. That's right, man. Spooktober and October is upon us, and as we count down to Halloween, the old Seaman is going to try to watch 31 movies and review 31 movies throughout the course of the month. Now, yes, it is October 8th, and yes, this is only our second review, but we're trying to play catch up today, get us caught up. I've been watching movies every day, just haven't had a chance to do reviews for all of them. And when October 2nd hit, there was only one movie that I was going to put on after we got the HBO Max trailer for The Witches. So let's not waste any time. Why don't you pull up a chair, take a seat as we dive in to the 1990 version of The Witches. Now, like I said, when HBO Max dropped the trailer on the 2nd, it was the only movie I could watch that day. It was just immediate. It was on Netflix. I was like, boom, we're going right to The Witches 1990. And it's another one of those kind of classic Halloween, kind of spooky, family-friendly movies. And if you're unfamiliar with The Witches, it follows a young boy named Luke and his grandmother Helga. They are played by Jason Fisher and Mai Zetterling. And Helga has had run-ins in her life with actual witches to the point where she lost a pinky and decides to bestow all of the things she knows about witches upon Luke so that Luke doesn't have the same ending as her good friend did when they were kids. Her friend gets captured by a witch and upon disappearing actually is put into a painting that they then watch her grow old, like in the painting, and she moves around, but you never see her move. She's always stagnant, but in different places in the painting every time you look at it. And then eventually she disappeared. So not wanting that to happen to Luke kind of bestows all this information on him so that he can catch witches. Things like they have a purple tint to their eyes, that they wear plain and kind of straight shoes, not pointy or fancy shoes because they have no toes. That they wear human masks and their real faces are far uglier than what you see. That they wear, wigs and that they're constantly itching underneath them. All these things so that it'd be easy for Luke to identify a witch. And even when it comes to the performances of Luke and Helga, Mai Zetterling and Jason Fisher are really, really good. Zetterling establishes a really legitimate grandmother quality to her that, like, as a kid, you can just relate. Like, yeah, that's definitely a grandma. And she holds all the things, that you would want for a grandma and a grandkid, as well as like tension between her and Angelica Houston, how she plays those moments. That's a situation where Angelica Houston is more than likely going to dominate that scene, and Mai Zetterling holds her own fantastically anytime they're in the same room. And then Jason Fisher, for a kid who seems pretty helpless, and kind of like this nerdy, not very strong kid, he has a wonderful flip in the movie once he realizes what needs to be done to stop these witches. And he becomes like a legitimate hero. And from his acting to his voice work, just all really, really good stuff. And then following a family tragedy that involves both of Luke's parents, Helga and Luke go back to England, where they end up running into a witch conference. And while Anne Hathaway will be taking on the Grand High Witch in The Witch for the 2020 HBO Max version, the lovely Angelica Houston was our Grand High Witch here, Miss Ernst. And she is just wonderful, man. I mean, so much charisma and charm from Angelica Houston in anything that she plays. And considering that a lot of the movie, she doesn't even get to be herself. The makeup that they put her in to be like in her true form when they're at this conference. Basically, they rent out a lot of space in the hotel. They rent out a conference room. They lock the doors. They're just witches that are all in the hotel and different places so that no one knows that they're there. And naturally, while this conference is going on, Luke had been playing in that room and is hiding out, so he sees everything. But the getup that they put her in and costume stuff is just crazy. And it's almost crazy to think that Angelica Houston was down to go in on it. But crushes, man. She's so good as the Grand High Witch. I mean, she's scary. Like I said, when she's in all of the makeup, she is terrifying physically. And does a really good job of kind of playing one of those scary witches who's chasing kids. Like, if you're a kid, Angelica Houston definitely scared you. And I just kind of love watching what goes down. Her whole plan is to exterminate all children by turning them into mice. And she lays this whole plan out. And when they first get there, there was like a young boy that she tempted with chocolate, and he shows up. and they turn him into a mouse. And Luke witnesses all of this before being turned into a mouse himself. And from that point forward, Luke and his friend Bruno Jenkins, played by Charlie Potter, as mice, have to try to figure out a way to stop the witches. And naturally, they bring back in Helga, and it kind of just goes from an adventure from that point forward throughout the hotel between the grandma and these two mice trying to stop the witches. And the ultimate stinger is that they hit the witches with their own, potion and turn them all into rats. It's absolutely wonderful. It's just another one of those really fun, spooky rides to go on, especially when you're a kid growing up. And this was a Henson production, so a lot of puppeteer work on stuff like the mice. The mice puppets are crazy good, and now, like I pointed out during the trailer, the digital mice that they're using kind of replicate that look, sort of, to the mice that they use with the puppets. But all of those influences by Jim Henson that are in there, specifically with the witch makeup, is just all stuff that you love and, scares you, but, in a comfortable way when you're a little kid. And that was one of the things that I loved about The Witches and gets me really excited for the remake. Hopefully Anne Hathaway can crush it the way Angelica Houston did. But, you have a fun cast and just kind of diving into the world of witches set inside a hotel pretty much for a day. Just works really, really well. It's a simple, fun story, and they really brought the Roald Dahl story to life. And, shout-outs go to director Nicholas Roeg, who does a wonderful job direction-wise and presenting and how they set up the movie. And then all the production and design elements are really awesome. Like I said, the true look of Angelica Houston is brilliant. Then, of course, on the writing side, Alan Scott does a great job with the screenplay and adapting Roald Dahl's material. And like I said, the new one, based on the trailer, looks like it's going to be doing the same thing. So I'm really excited for that. But again, big fan of the original Witches. The question is, are you? Where does The Witches fall on your Halloween movie list? Like I said, I kind of want to start with some of the things that got me into Halloween and scary movies. Hocus Pocus and The Witches, two movies that did that when I was a young kid. And just stuff that, nostalgia, anything that goes back to my childhood, I just love inherently. So how does that work out for you? What do you think of The Witches? What do you remember from being a kid? Does it still hold up? Much like Hocus Pocus, I think The Witches still works now, and works to the point where the new one looks like it's going to do pretty much all the same things that the first one did. So where does all of that fall for you? Leave those thoughts down below in the comments section. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new, you want to come hang out with the C-Man all Spooktober long and follow along on my wonderful horror Halloween movie list, jump over there if you haven't, man. Hit that subscribe button. Come join the rest of the C-Maniacs, and hit that little bell if you want those alerts. And until next time, for the C-Man Cinema Sit-Down, I've been the C-Man. I'm signing off. Peace! Well, oh, B, you guys are still here? You must be looking for some more content. Well, don't worry. C-Man's got you covered, man. You got videos like this guy and this guy. And if you haven't yet, and you want to come check out all the C-Man goodies, join the Cinema Sit-Down squad, man. Hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the little bell down below that, too, so you can get alerts every time I make new videos.